organize the research report, make some office skills, build a data dashboard, go through the user feedback, and generate a presentation deck. Oh, use the office computer. Hey, the dog looks so cute.
What?
Let's build an app.
For capturing the dog face?
Yes, how?
First, you need a face recognition training model. Second,
Let's do it. Remotely access the brand videos folder on my office computer, summarize the brand message of each of the 5 videos, and output a comparison table.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Thanks for joining us today, and thank you for waiting online for more than half an hour. Thanks, guys, and good afternoon, good evening, and good morning for our friends from all over the world. Thank you for joining our today's session on the Trey AI Talk number 6, Supercharge your build and workflow with agent skills. So for those of you who might be new to this session, Trey AI Talk is a series of live podcast session where we invite Trey team members and industry leaders to come and share about their experiences, thoughts, and best practices in AI and AI coding. So if you guys have any questions or topics you're interested in, feel free to let us know and we might pick it for our future session topic. So in our last session, our product manager, Andy, did a live demo, like a workshop style session on how he uses our Trey Solo web, mobile, and desktop, and also IDE, and how he uses these 4 different products in an effective way per his need. It seems like our community really liked this kind of workshop style session. And that's why today we're bringing another workshop style session with our operation manager, Gary. So let's welcome Gary over here. Gary, do you want to give an introduction to the community here?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. It's really happy to see you guys. I'm Gary. I'm currently the developer operation manager of Trey. So basically, my responsibility is help developers to know more about AI coding, know how to use Trey to leverage the AI power and to boost your productivity in your daily life and writing the code.
Yeah, thanks, Gary, for coming and joining the community. Gary has been our old friend, and he has been always super supportive to the community over here. So thanks for joining us and spending time with the team over here. So today, Gary's topic will be on skills, as the name of this session indicated. But what's special is it's not about sharing about like slides or PPT. Instead, Gary will be doing a live demo on like sharing his screen and showing how he uses skills around HeyGen, Vercel, or Obsidian. So I'm sure it will be super, super helpful for you guys in your daily workflow. And personally, I'm very interested in that as well. I would highly suggest everyone follow Gary throughout the session, install some of the skills so that if you have any questions during the process, you can let us know immediately in the chat box. And after the session, we'll be also sending out a toolkit on skills so that you can always refer to it as like a document. Before we go into the actual workshop, just one last thing I want to highlight with everybody. As always, we'll be giving out free trade tokens to the lucky audience in our session today. We'll be doing the lucky draw after the Q&A we had with Gary. And we'll be doing it around like 15 to 20 minutes throughout the session, so no worries. We have this like throughout the session. So I guess that will be it. Check in the chat box of how to participate. We'll be doing the lucky draw. Yeah, I think without further ado, Gary, I'll hand over the stage to you and let's get started on that.
Yeah, sure. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me start to share the screen. Okay. Okay, so right now everyone can see my slide. Okay, so yeah, today is actually for me is the first time to do the hands-on workshop to show you guys that how I use the skill and also combine different skill and also build a harness in our daily work. So it's not going to be that dedicated project like what we showed before, but I will definitely show how to step by step and using some certain skill. And also I will also show some demo that I already completed before. So okay, first of all, today's topic is how to build with skill. And let me introduce myself. And this is me, and I'm focused on the developer operation manager. And so today I actually want to bring two main topic. So the number one is how to use the skill to empower your workflow. And the second topic will be how to build your harness system. And today we got a 4 demo section. Number one is the Hyper framework from HeyGen, and then we will use Obsidian. It's an information management system, and also we will use Vercel Scale. And the fourth one I will just teach you how to build your own skill infrastructure. Okay, so let's just jump into the demo section. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. So present, share screen. I will just share the window. Okay, I assume everyone can see my screen right now. And let's see, first of all, I will just jump into the existing tab. So first of all, we will talk about how to use the Hyper framework, so which is the video editing skill from HeyGen, which is a famous AI avatar company. And the second is we will try to use the Obsidian. This is over here. So this is a knowledge information management system. As you can see, it manages so many different information over here. So for example, we can have the goal, and also we have the habits. So many different information over here. Yeah, it's kind of slow over here. So for example, over here, this is the habit. So this node basically connect with all the another information. For example, like for my personal habit, it has the workout, has the cardio, has the power training, so many different options. And basically this is the center node over here. For example, you can just click the easy 5K, kilometer running over here. It will just have all the record information over here. So later I will just show how to use the tray over here and to leverage skill and also control this kind of software. So number one I want to talk about is the Hyper framework. So for example, over here, and you can see we already have several examples, but actually using a Hyper framework CLI is also pretty easy right now. And also it's the next step we're going to do. So what you need to do, just go to Hyper frame skills over here. So for example, you just go to this website and yeah, over here. You can see this is the HeyGen repository over here. It actually got so many instructions that teach you how to use AI coding agent to create a video. So for us, how we do it is actually pretty easy. We just need to go to the Tray Solo over here. We just copy and paste this URL over here, and then we can just say, you know what, I want to use this Hyper framework to create a simple video. You can show me the video editor tool, and I want to create a topic is about Tray Solo. As I mentioned before, right now I just barely type in. So we just give the URL and also give the instruction that we want to do. And then Solo just we're going to start to thinking about, how to do it. So, okay, in the right side, we can also see over here, it already including one skill. So yeah, it basically just shows so many different skills over here, but the hyperframe skill just already over here. So for example, we just go to the first example because it will take a while, and we just see we already created a video over here, and we just check it out. So you can see this is the video is generated by the Hyperframework, which is just a skill. I only use the coding capability. It just generate everything, which is pretty cool right now. I just show a 3D library, and it just show how to use coding agent to create a 3D object and make it move, have a rotation, and also has different amazing cool effect over here. So there's one cool example that we can do is so for example, right now you want to create a really cool website or you want to create a really cool 3D video, you can just talk with the Hyperframework and let it to work it for you. Okay, so this is the first one. And then we just go to, okay, let's check it out. So it's still thinking. And then, for example, we can do something over here. Since we already see the effect over here, right? And I can just try to control it. You know what? I want to change the color of the 3D object. I want to make the background is prettier, and I want to make the animation is also more fancier. Okay, so. Oh, okay, give me 1 second. So seems like, okay. Make the color become red and change the animation style. Make it cooler. Okay, so it will just read the instruction, and then we just check it out. Check another tab. So we already showcased that how to use the Hyperframework to create a video. And they also have another use case is, okay. So for example, we can
Tree collaborate with intelligence, ship autonomously, import agent from @tree/core, const solo equals new agent mode, autonomous model, Claude 3, Fat tree collaborate with.
So as you can see, in this video, it generates all the background and also the title and also all the text over here. So it also including a really cool like a code block over here. So for example, import agent from TreeCore, even though it just showed Claude 3.5 because the model has the history knowledge, but it actually shows the result. It's
const solo equals
and
new
you
agent.
Can see over here, they also have the green line. Actually, it's moving. It is just like when we create some, business level video, and it will just, make the effect really cool. Okay.
Autonomous model, Claude 3, Fat tree collaborate with intelligence.
So the thing is like, how are we going to control it? So this is the editor over here. So I will just click open browser. So you can see Hyperframework actually is not just a video skill. It's actually a whole toolkit that can help you to create a video. It has everything that you need. So over here, you can see they have so many different resources. It's actually code over here. So for example, it has the schema, it has the video, it also has the agent empty that are created by Hyperframework. Actually, you can see this skill is this empty is pretty comprehensive, and also it generates the script over here. And for us, what we can do is, for example, if you want to manually control the different video, you can just control it, and you can just drag it, and also try to control the metrics over here. So for example, the timing, the layout, the flags, the clip. Of course, I believe all of you guys is the native people. You're definitely not going to just be the traditional way to control the component, but this is definitely a really good way to show us how an AI native software is supposed to be. So the basic idea is, so all those feature and those functionality, they're not going to be protected behind the UI interface. Actually, for the HeyGen, what they do is they just connect with each component, each function with the CLI. By this way, we can just use the skill, use a different command line to control this whole process to edit in the video. So for example, we can also make some different editor. We can just say, can you help to add some music? And also I want to add more text to make the whole video has more content and looks more fun. Okay, so we just give the instruction to Solo, and then Solo just going to directly to control the editor in the right side. So this is a really useful way that, for example, if a person really good at writing the code, but actually he don't have too much experience to do the video editing, or he just don't want to wasting the time on video editing, you can definitely try to consider using the Hyper framework to complete the video editing and the generation process. So let me see. Okay, over here is already complete, but I think the result will be similar. It will just show the video editor over here. Maybe let's do something. We can just say, hey, could you make a promotion video to large language model and talk about history, and also made a video with really cool animation and also with music. Okay. And then we can just give this instruction. So over here, you don't have to worry about if the Hyper framework can complete this kind of complete work or not, because for what I know, the HeyGen team, let me see over here, they already make so many works. If you're interested about it, you can definitely try to discover. So over here, they already have the so many example package, and also have different script, different skill over here. It also has the skill to control the video, has the skill to control the animation. Even for the 3D object generation, it has the object, also has the folder, and has the certain adapter to control everything. Yeah, this is about Hyper framework, and this instruction is still working. So let me see, another user case is called website to video. So I think this is another really cool use case that I just learned. So the basic concept is, for example, if you just see a website, right, and you can even just turn the whole website became a video. So I will just see the model. So for example, I just find the seed model over here. This is the website. So they have really cool seed video generation model over here. And what you can do is just copy and paste the whole URL link. And we just go back to Solo and just tell them, could you start to process this website to transfer this website into a really cool video? Still thinking. Okay. Transfer this video. Actually, what we can do is it already have an example over here. Oh, the internet is not that good. Okay. So let me see if it's working. Okay, so seems like right now this use case is not working, and it's already started working on right now. So yeah, let's just wait a while, and all these instructions, they are still processing right now. And what we can do is, maybe we're already talking about the Hyper framework, and then we can just jump into the Obsidian, which is another really cool information management system. So first of all, if you want to manage your information rather than just write a note manually, I definitely highly recommend that you use Obsidian and to manage this. So what you need to do is just download this software. And what this software can do is they can just save and organize your information in a really good way. And for example, over here, I have different goal, I have a habit, I have all the knowledge about AI, about the different economy, and also about different paper. And also for the people, For example, in my daily life, I just get to know so many people, right? And obviously, they will just save the information about the people. So, for example, this is all dummy data. This guy, for example, just working at Meta, live at Boston, has the background. And what we can do is we can use Solo to manage it. So the way how we use it is also pretty easy. If we just go to the skill over here, and if you go to the content generation, you will just see we already have the internal skill over here. What you need to do, just click the Obsidian CLI, Obsidian Markdown, and Obsidian Base. And then we just go to the Obsidian and click Setting. So take care over here. There's an advanced section. You need to click the command line interface. Only by this way, Trade Solo can just build a bridge to connect with Obsidian. By this way, Obsidian not just going to be a software designed for human, but literally you can use the AI to control it. And also, this is all the reason that I can just generate so many content over here. Imagine if previously we don't have the CLI, we don't have the skill, it's actually will be really hard for me to writing all the node. So for example, if I just going out to join some meetup and I meet 10 people, I definitely have no time to write all the node with so much detail, right? But I believe this is also really important for a lot of people. They actually build a CRM system to track the customer, to track the client, to know their background, and to complete the business deal. And what I do is I already, connect with the Obsidian. For example, if you click here, it already show up over here, right? And I will just go to the example over here. So for example, the first use case I want to show up is, for example, every day we just watch so many videos and we have no time to manage this information. So what we can do is I just copy and paste this YouTube URL, and then I just go to the Solo. I will just say, maybe I just start a new tab. I can just say, help me to process this YouTube video and save the important information, save into my Obsidian. I just don't know, the voice is not working. Okay, so save this video information into my Obsidian. Okay, so what is going to happen is Solo just going to access this YouTube URL and then get all the transcription over here, and then they will just summarize everything and get the key information saved into the Trade Solo. So right now, I will just put one existing example over here. We already processed one video. Okay, so for example, this is another video. It's from Andrew Karpathy. So he's pretty famous in AI and teach people, right? I definitely want to know how he's thinking about AI, how to use AI. And you can see over here, the test is complete. And so it already summarized the information, analyzed the video, and also updated to Obsidian. And the title is Andrew Karpathy, Skill in the AI Era. So yeah, you can see this key information already be summarized and sent to the Obsidian. And let's just check it out. So for example, we just go to this graph. So you can see so many information over here, and then I can just use the search. Let's see if I can search. Okay, it just show up. So when I just search Andrew Karpathy, you can see he actually don't have too many connection with another information. But in this node, it connect with Claude 3.5, with connect with like DeepSeek, and we just like get in to see. Okay, oh, this is another article. It's also from Andrew Karpathy. Seems like that article is not saved into the Obsidian. I will just let it do later. But this is another example I can show you. For example, it actually got all the summarization, and also it record all these information like different model, ChatGPT, Cloud, and also the core workflow that how Andrew Karpathy using AI in his yeah, I think this is a pretty cool way that you can actually use AI to organize and summarize everything, and you don't have to type it. And yeah, I think this is a pretty cool way. And obviously, there's another really cool thing is all this knowledge, they actually build a connection to each other. So for example, over here, we can see dive into LLM like a ChatGPT. It will just show seems like it's another article from Andrew Capacive. And let's just go to another log over here. So you can see it actually record like all the daily information over here about the people, about the world, about learning, about the node. So yeah, which is pretty cool. So it saves us a bunch of time to like fetch the information. And for example, I will just like show up over here, right? So previously I just save all the information, and probably I can just, for example, I will just like, let me see what we can talk about. Okay, we can just talk about my training. Okay. All right, could you help me to show up my training record and give me some suggestion? Thank you. Give me some suggestion to my training recording and show it up. Okay, so right now is thinking. So yeah, we just let Augustine to talk to each others because I already have the skill. So because I already installed the Augustine skill, so right now I just need directly talk to the AI, and the AI just going to understand. They will just try to, for example, later they just going to do the query to my habit and the training section, and then get all the record to take it back and do the summarization. So for example, over here, I do a lot like a bumble row. I do a lot of different training. It comes with the date, comes with the load, also comes with different node over here. It's too heavy, it's too easy. And AI, okay, seems like this is a small issue. Let's just restart it. Okay, and the AI just going to learn it and to give me and they will just give me the information over here. So yes, this is the Augustine. And as I mentioned, there's another really cool use cases. You can actually use the Augustine to do really hardcore summarization work. So for example, over here, my Solo actually understand all my different repository in the Augustine. So for example, in my Augustine, I have the demo repository. I have a different second brain. I have a different vault over here. It also got all the information, also show up the structure, what it contain. It comes with my daily log, comes with my knowledge, comes with different reference. So for example, when we learn something, right, we just don't want AI just give some random answer or just give us the hallucination answer. What we want is actually let AI to read the answer from what we already have and also give the reference. So this is why we just create this reference, and also it has different tag. So yeah, this is the really cool use case. And there's another really cool use case is I just visualize all the information that I have. So for example, this is my dashboard over here. The dashboard actually showcases like how many contacts I already have, how many knowledge node that I already have. So for example, I also learn a lot of different knowledge like AI, like large language model, like the CPU, GPU, a lot of stuff. And it also show up all the daily log, all the information over here. And then this is one of my favorite use case is I just let Solo to build a visualization map to show up that my connection. So for example, right now for me, I'm just live at San Francisco, right? Of course, I got most of the connection is actually start from San Francisco and I go to the whole world, go to the Europe, go to the Africa, go to the Indian, go to the China, Japan, so many different places. Of course, this data, they are dummy data, but the really cool thing is you can actually see they actually got a different category. So for example, I just want to know developers, and then I just click it. It will just show my developer connection. And for example, I want to know the designer. So it will also just like highlight different connection of designer. And in the right side, it also shows different information. So basically, if you want to build your own infrastructure, use the skill and to read all the information and visualize them. So you can just do it. So basically, the one thing I like Obsidian is, so if you give more information, give more the information and the data to your AI system, and your AI will actually getting smarter, and you can just use Solo to talk with it all the time. So for example, over here, I just tell them to give me the training like result, right, from Obsidian. So it show up the training dashboard over here. Let me see if it's show up over here. Yeah, that'd be pretty great. That Troy just read the data from Obsidian and also create a pretty graph over here. It shows the different, different trend and in a different day that how I do training. So for example, that day I just do the weight training, and that day I do the phase 4. What's this phase 4? But yeah, this is the dummy data. And also it shows the different like section information. But for you, you can just build whatever you want. And yeah, I think this is the obvious thing. And let's just go to another use case. So for example, I just recording all my information in last year, right? It just show up like a GitHub, the dashboard. It actually shows, for example, that day, I talked with 4 people and with 4 topics, and my mood is like 5 out of 10. And also it just connect with different information. For example, DeepSeek V3 and Marcus, different prompt engineering or something. It just like connect with different information. And everything actually just control and complete by the TreeSolo over here. So yeah, I think this is the general idea that how we use TreeSolo and use different skill to control the Obsidian and control the Hyper Framework to complete the video editing, to do the information management, and which is pretty cool. I highly recommend everyone to try it out. So yes, Faye, I remember you just mentioned that you want to have a media section. So maybe you can just take over the screen.
Sure. Thanks, Gary. Well, I was also listening really carefully into your sharing just now. I have to say, I learned so much, and thank you for bringing HeyGen and Obsidian to my life. I've heard about these products and tools in my daily work, but I'm actually not using it like with hands-on experience. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for showing us your work. And I saw people have some questions, and personally, I also have some questions as well. But given we're like halfway through the session, I'm thinking about maybe we can do a little bit of the lucky draw first. So let's see who is our first winner of our $20 of free trade token. And that's worth of 1 month of basic usage from our pro membership. So let's do that first. And then we'll move into some of the Q&A and discussion. And I don't know, like Gary, maybe later we can move into some other use cases or some other best practices you want to share with us. Okay, so first of all, let's do the lucky draw first. I'll share my screen so that everybody can see how we're drawing this. For those of you who want to participate, feel free to leave a comment of love Trey in the chat box. You'll be automatically entering the pool. So yeah, let me share my desktop. All right, okay, dokes. So for now, we have 9 entries. Let's select one lucky audience to receive our $20 free trade token. Let's see who is that. Close. Congratulations. I don't know how to pronounce this, but thank you for staying with us. I saw you've been here for a while. So yeah, I'll be sending out a questionnaire for you to fill out so that you can enter your information. We can top up your account right after.
Guys, it didn't show up on your screen, right?
I'm sorry, what?
You didn't share your screen, right?
Am I not sharing my screen?
Yeah, you didn't share your screen.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, but I'll share my screen one more time so that you can see the You can see the actual winner.
Right.
Give me a sec over here. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I was doing this lucky draw using a tool built in this StreamYard, and then you can see we have 12 entries for now, and we have our first winner coming out, Kim Sum. Congratulations, and I'll be sending out the form for you to fill out. All right, I guess we can move over to our Q&A session and our other content or workshop, and then we can move into another lucky draw in a bit. So yeah, so I guess first of all, Gary, I do see people have some questions, so I guess we can talk about it just in a bit. But before that, I wanted to have some like basic discussions for me to understand better, and also for the people on the line. Because personally, I've never used HeyGen or never used Obsidian before, as I mentioned. So maybe let's talk about HeyGen first. Per my understanding, is HeyGen like a framework or a skill to create any videos we want? Can you give a quick introduction of HeyGen and how we can combine this with Solo or with Tray? Because I feel like a lot of people might think Tray is a tool for coding, right? But then how we can combine it with generating some videos or some contents. Yeah. So I guess that's like my general question for now.
Okay. So yeah, first of all, I want to share one idea is I think for the whole AI world, people already have agreed with this, that actually coding agent can deal with like nearly most of work in our daily life. So basically, if you see all those AI company, what they're doing is let coding agent to finish the most work, not just coding work, but also the knowledge work, like even the document process, the video generation, and even the design. So basically, coding agent will be the main engine to finish all the work. So this is what we did. Previously, Tray started as coding agent, and then we built Tray Solo to finish the knowledge work. And of course, for us, the focus is coding agent. And there's some certain work, like in multimodality, in the design. So we don't have the tool. And actually, what we do is we just use a skill, use a CLI or MCP to connect with different tool. So by this way, our coding agent can just control this kind of tool to finish the work. So this is the concept. And talk about HeyGen. So HeyGen is actually one of the partners that we are working with. They are really famous for the AI avatar video generation. Basically, if you just search on the website about the avatar, it's a lot of information about their video generation model. But the thing is, people were thinking about, hey, why those video generation company, they start to working with coding. One of the reason is, so right now we just realized the coding agent really good at write HTML, right? But if we just organize the HTML in a really good way, and then we just come with the the animation with those kind of music, different tool, this HTML can actually become a video. So this is what I just show up. It probably not like the video, like business level video, but it definitely show a really good start that coding agent can actually use HTML to create a really cool video. And for us, what are we doing is just use the Hyper framework, which is the knowledge from the HeyGen, because they're really good at video, right? Basically, they put their expertise into the skill and allowed all the coding agent to just use the coding agent to generate any kind of video. They even can convert the website into different video, right? So I think this is the general idea. So basically, if we just have the coding agent, we can just connect with all the different skill, different tool, different CLI, and we can basically complete 99% work in our daily life in the computer.
Got it. And thank you for explaining. I think one of the good point about the current status quo and also the future is it's really interesting to see that coding can actually do a lot more work. It's not about coding a program, right? And now it's about coding a video or even coding a music, which is like super cool if we use like products or skills like HeyGen. And just as like a recap for HeyGen, I saw people have questions, but in the very beginning, it was quick. But I just want to confirm with you one more time. So if we want to use HeyGen in Trey, what are the main steps that people needs to complete? Can you like quickly summarize for people who might join later?
Okay, so first of all, right now, the HeyGen Hyper Framework skill is not in our marketplace, but it will come in really soon, probably next week, you guys can see it. So yeah, so for the next week, the main way just going to be go to the marketplace and you will see it. And for right now, I think there are two ways. Number one, you can just go to their GitHub website to copy the link. That's it. But another way is because Trey internally, we have the search engine. You can just tell Solo, you say, hey, I want to use the Hyper Framework and help me to use this skill to generate video, and that's it. So basically, you don't have to get out of the IDE. Yeah, it's pretty.
That was quick. So basically, I just tell Trey IDE or just tell Trey Solo that I want to use the Hyper Framework by HeyGen, and it will direct me to download the skills or do the setup, right?
Correct.
Got it. And when I see your demo just now, it seems like after the video is generated, we can also preview the video from the browser preview within Trey directly, so we don't need to like jump outside.
Yeah. Because Trey,
awesome.
internally, we also have a Chrome website inside of Trey.
Yes. And you were mentioning. So one thing I also want to mention to the audience as well. So Gary was just mentioning we and he actually just showed as well. We have a skill marketplace in the Trey Solo product right now. So we designed a marketplace with the purpose that you don't need to go up online and find all different kind of skills. You can just do a one-click install from the Trey Solo itself. So that way, first, you can download all the safe skills. And second, these skills are all the refined, selected skills by the team. So those are with good performance. So I guess this is the reason why we did the marketplace, but we're still growing this marketplace to add more skills inside. And that's why, as Gary mentioned, the HeyGen skill is not there yet, but you can use Trey to ask it to download a skill for you, or just directly upload a skill document. So just a side note for everyone. And Gary, I saw people had some question related to HeyGen. So let's complete the questions on HeyGen first. So I saw people were asking, so this one I'll show on the screen. How is the pricing? I'm keen to use this workflow of Trey and HeyGen for my professional work. So yeah, I guess, Gary, do you want to share a little bit how much it costs and what's the kind of price over that?
Actually, if for this certain workflow, there's no extra cost. The cost is basically just the Trey cost. So basically for the HeyGen Hyper Framework, it's just a skill and it's open source. So basically you can use it for free. And I think this is the pretty cool thing. But another thing is, if, for example, we already show up the video editing capability, right? But if you want them to literally edit in some video, right? And there's two solutions. Number one, you can upload your video to it, so it can do editing. And the second use case is you can use the AI to generate a video. So in that case, maybe you can just connect with their avatar, connect with the HeyGen, the API, and all connect with the open router, different those kind of cloud service to generate a video. So it will totally depend on you. See what kind of works that you want to finish.
Got it. So you mentioned one is to use skills to create video, another one is to use AI models, right? Am I correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any difference between the two? Which one would you recommend for different use cases?
So I think it's also depend on the work that you want to finish. So obviously, if you use, for example, the Seedance model, right? They do a good work. They can even generate to the real human. If you want to editing maybe a movie, I definitely use the Seedance. But if you want to generate some just simple, cool, like use case. For example, you want to show up your product, you want to make your slide just moving. I think at that time you can just use the HyperFrameworks.
Got it. So it seems like if you want to have some characters, settings in your video, then it's better to use an AI model like Seedance to create. But if you are just creating some sort of like informative, like information video, then it's better just to use the HeyGen. And then I think a follow-up question is, so to confirm, there's no HeyGen API calls for the ones you created just now.
The HyperFrameworks is just an open source skill, so it will be totally free. You can also upload your own video, so there's no any extra cost.
Got it. Thank you, Gary, for this. And let's see if there's any other question on Tray and HeyGen, or use Tray to create videos. If no, I guess we can move into the next topic that you just covered, which is Tray and Obsidian. I want to say this is super cool as well, especially I saw your connections all over the globe, although it might be, some of them might be dummy data, but it's really cool to see that we can see the connections of the information. So I guess someone was asking this question about Obsidian itself. Maybe you can also explain it a little bit to the team over here as well. So is this function similar to LLM Notebook? So I guess this is also a question I had on my side. So, what's the difference between Obsidian, like LLM Notebook, or even Notion? Like, what's your use case among them?
I think it's a little bit different because the Notebook LLM, so it already has the certain functionality probably to generate a slide, generate the video, generate different stuff. But for Obsidian, it's basically just store the information. It's just like a database. So I think for Tray, this is the Tray's. If the Tray plus the Obsidian, probably it's just like a more powerful version Notebook, because Tray can process any kind of data with different skill. Basically, it can do everything, and video, image, and all this information they can just save into the Obsidian. So Obsidian is more like a wiki page. It just like save everything. And I think the cool thing is, in our daily life, we just got so much information. For example, we have the meeting note. We have the client customer's information. For example, we just get to know one customer, and the customer, maybe their preferences, they like chocolate, right? For example, the next time, if we visit our customer, visit our client, we definitely want to know their preference. But in our daily life, we can definitely not say we just like writing a note and record everything. The best way is we just record everything and just give to the AI, give to the Solo, and the Solo just going to help you automatically to organize them, process them, and save them in the knowledge base. And for you in the future, you just want to get to know, okay, the customer, what is his preference, and what he really want, and what is the recent update with this customer. So all the information will just save in the Obsidian. So it can just be your second brain. So by this way, you don't have to remember everything. Come on, we have a limited context window in our daily life, right? We cannot remember every important detailed information. But thinking about if we have Obsidian plus the Tray, especially we have the Tray Mobile, and we can just talk to Tray Mobile. You know what? I just meet one customer, and this customer, he really wanted this product. This is the price he want, and also he has some certain preference. And next time I can bring some small gift for example, black chocolate, and I will just give all the information done, and Solo will automatically to process and remember everything. This is the magic moment.
Got it, Gary. I get a better understanding of like the different products like Obsidian, Notebook LLM, or Notion. And one thing I really liked you summarize is it's basically a second brain of database of like your brain, right? And one thing I like the last use case you mentioned. So because now we have the Tray Solo Mobile, which means you can talk to your Tray Solo like through the mobile anytime, anywhere. For example, if you meet someone in a networking session, or if you're just off from a meeting, just like voice out the summary or voice out the information, then Solo can summarize it and condense this data into your Obsidian. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. Correct.
And then Obsidian is going to be like basically doing a mapping and a connection of different informations that you have basically in your mind.
Yeah, correct. So I would like to show out like the process. So for example, just in the Obsidian, I just like, for example, I talking about like the habit. For example, I just talking about habit, right? And this request will just go to the backend, and then they will just like see where is the habit, and then they just find out, okay, habit is over here. And with habit, it connect with so many different information, and also it connect with the information like in the main brain over here. So which is pretty cool. So by this way, all the information, they're not going to be separate. They will actually be connect to each other. So for example, when we're talking about habit, right? Maybe my habit is over here. For example, is my home. For example, it connect with my home. Maybe I have some certain habit at my home, and then it has different link connect with different people, knowledge with different goal. Then it will just connect with the main brain over here. So yeah, this is how it works. So the information not going to be like, so right now, if you just ask in AI, just ask in Solo in one project, the project going to remember the information, the context in certain folder. But if out of the folder, they will just forget. But with Obsidian, basically all the folder, they will just connect with this main brain. And this is really magic thing. And all the information will be really organized over here. So for example, if I just do 5K running, it show up the date, all the information. I didn't type anything, didn't type any character. It's the AI to do this for me. So yeah, I think this is the use case about Obsidian. Highly recommend everyone to try it out. Pretty magic stuff, magic use case.
Absolutely. It looks like magic to me. And it seems like all the information spreading out in our minds are not in silo anymore. They're like connected with each other. And it will be super interesting to see how the information, how the people we meet every day are actually connected somehow. This is very fun. I'll definitely try it out as well myself. So another question though, like related to what people were asking just now, is it free to use or does it cost anything?
It's free to use. It's also free. We always recommend no cost to our friend. But yeah, of course, if you want to make all the information be on the cloud, you can try to pay for this product. But for us, because everything just run locally, it's not like Notion. Notion, for example, if you want to save a lot of information, you will pay like monthly the plan, right? But Obsidian is just like totally free right now.
Awesome. And thank you, Gary, for recommending like free tools to use together with Tray. That's super great to the community over here. So we do have some other questions, but it's not necessarily related. One more question. Is there any limit of the memory for Obsidian, I guess?
No, the only memory limitation is your computer's limitation.
Oh, because it's stored locally, right?
Locally.
Oh. Got it. Okay. Any other question on Obsidian, like with Tray? If not, then I guess we can move into our second round of the lucky draw, because all the other questions are generally related to Tray or Tray skills. So they're not necessarily to HeyGen or Obsidian. So we'll do the Q&A on that as well. Before that, I'll share my screen one more time and to do this lucky draw and see who is the winner. So to participate, leave a comment of love Tray in the chat box, and yeah, let's do the lucky draw. We have 14 entries. Let's draw one more time. Congratulations, Leslie. Thank you for joining, and we will be topping up your account with $20 of trade credit after this session. Okay, so let's move into the Q&A. So Gary, the next part of the Q&A are questions related to generally about Tray Solo or the skills. So the first one is, this is an interesting question, and I definitely think everybody should know more about like how to use skills. So Gary, to prevent a custom skill from bloating the AS context window during the long coding session, what is the best practice for keeping Tray skills modular and token efficient?
So I think for me, personally right now, the best use case is, don't put too much skill just into your AI, because if you just put too much skill, it's not useful for AI. The AI they're just going to forget and maybe just pick the random skill. So this is one thing. Don't put too much. But which one we should pick? We should pick the most high frequent skill that are in our agent. So another good way is only pick the most useful or most high frequent skill in your agent MD. So for example, right now in Tray, we have an agent MD, right? And the agent MD will basically, manage each folder and also teach the Tray Solo what you should do and what kind of skill you should use, right? So we would recommend don't put more than probably don't more than 30, don't more than 40 skill. But for example, if you start another work, for example, right now, you're doing a coding work, right? In the coding work, the agent MD just going to have the coding related skill. But when you just jump into another work, for example, it's like my knowledge work. I want to generate a slide. I want to generate a report. In that case, you can have another agent MD to have another skill. So by this way, you allocate a different skill to different work, and it can help your agent makes a work smarter and also be more token efficient.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary, for this. And personally, I do have like a couple suggestions or best practices as well. First thing is in Tray, you can actually install skills at a project level or a global level, meaning like if you don't really need a lot of skills, like Gary said, in this project, then you can only install like the skills you want for this project. But if there are some skills that you want to use across the project, then you can install for the global ones so that you don't mix the two. And then the second one about skills that one thing I want to highlight is in the Tray Solo or in the Tray IDE, you can use a hashtag, or in a Tray Solo, I think you can use a hashtag to specify which skill you want to use so that the agent will not be confused within all different kind of skills you installed. And the third thing is, I believe skill is progressively loading, so you don't need to worry too much about the context. But I think if you install too much, the agent might be confused which one to use. So yeah, I guess that's also my thoughts on this one. Next one. So next one, Gary, I don't know if we would be able to answer this question, but I will also show it out over here. If not, we can bring it to our dev team about this. So is there anything in the future Tray will launch to related to UX testing from CLI since Playwright browser automation sucks? So yeah, Gary, I don't know if you have any thoughts or information on this one.
To be honest, right now, for the UI UX testing, right, we already have a MCP. It's called Tesla Sprite. If you go to our marketplace, it actually is focused on to work like use the browser use and to work like a real human to react with each component and give the feedback to you. So it basically complete the UX work. And so I think you can definitely try it out. One of the reasons, as you mentioned, the normal browser use and those kind of automation is kind of sucks. One of the reason is those models, they're just too general. They are not like they not focus on some certain word. And I believe if you try marketplace MCP, it will works really well. But for trade itself, I'm not sure if we're going to have this kind of testing function. But we can definitely keep posted in our community.
Got it. Thank you. And if we're talking about like MCPs or skills, in addition to the MCP Gary was just mentioning, that reminds me, one of our top 10 most used skills by trade users is called UI UX Pro Max. So this is actually one of the skills. I don't know. I think it might be helpful in terms of like generating and also testing. So try this out as well. Okay, next one. I guess I'll take this one as, is Tray Solo going to be on Linux? When? Thanks. So I guess this please keep, stay posted, stay tuned in our community. We'll let you know when we have a plan on what's the next update and what are the most important ones. But we will bring this back to the team and let them know our users are asking for a Linux version. But our Tray IDE is already on Linux as well. So if you are using it most for coding purposes, or if you are a heavy coder, you can use Tray IDE on Linux.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So next one, I remember, Gary, you were about to talk about some of the harness around Tray, but I don't know if this is something we can answer. I'll bring this up as well. So how does Tray harness differ from OpenCode? Is there a design philosophy that defines Tray versus other AI code editors? This is actually a very big and difficult question.
Yeah. So I think definitely, Tray's harness is different from any different tool, because so basically if you are not working on foundational model, people just building harness. So definitely Tray has different harness with OpenCode. And for the philosophy, I think for OpenCode, they focus on the CLI, right? This is what I understand. But for Tray, we focus on give the good user experience to everyone. So this is why we keep focus on GUI interface. So I think this is the critical major difference between OpenCode and Tray. So yeah, if you try Tray and try Tray Solo, you will find out we will actually put more work on the UI interface. Actually, this is the new trend. So probably like half a year before, at that time, everyone talking about CLI, but gradually, all the company, they just realized CLI is still kind of too limited only for coding work. For example, if we want to deal with all those knowledge work, I want to generate a report, I want to complete the design, it's impossible. You just have a CLI to control those kind of design, those kind of detail, right? So yeah, I think this is different. Tray will focus on a way bigger area and to take care of more customers. This is our idea.
Got it. Thank you, Gary. It's already 1 hour, so we're a little bit over time for our session right now. So we're about to wrap up. And people, if you have any questions or any other ones you want to let us know, let Gary know, feel free to leave in the chat box. Or if you want to join our community, feel free to join our Discord community as well. I'll be showing a little QR code over here on the top, so feel free to scan and join. You can find me. My name is Faye. You can find me there. You can also find the team over there if you have anything coming up while you are using it. So I guess we can go into our last. Someone was asking for a link. Okay, I'll also send a link in the chat box as well. You can also scan the QR code on the top. Okay, so we'll go into our last round of the lucky draw just in like 2 minutes. So I'll give everybody another 2 minutes to leave a comment of love Tray in the chat box to enter and win the $20 of Tray token, which is worth of 1 month of the paid membership. Okay, I saw a question about, does trade credits carry forward cumulatively to the following months, or does it get burned if it's unused? Gary, I'll leave this to you.
Oh, okay. So for the trade credit, right now it will just, so for example, right now you just pay $20, right? And when you finish the credit, of course, this money will just be gone. Yeah, this is how it works. And all those software companies, they're working like this right now.
Yeah. So it does not roll over, but every month, in addition to what you paid within your package, we also have a bonus amount, which is going to be refreshed like every month on the cycle. Okay, so again, we're a little bit running over time. Let's do our lucky draw. And for you guys, if you have any other more questions about trade, feel free to join our Discord community and discuss with us over there. Also, in our upcoming session, I'm planning to invite some of our devs so that you can also ask like more technical questions to them. All right, let's get started with our last round of the lucky draw. We have 17 entries, and let's draw again. All right, so this is a lucky winner, and I know him very well from our community, and he's always generous enough to give it to some other users. So I guess as a another one, we'll all draw another round. But congratulations again. All right, we have another one. Okay, so I'll be sending out a questionnaire in the chat box. Feel free to fill it out so that we can top up your account, your win of the $20. And then if you haven't won one from this session, that's totally okay. This is an ongoing session. We will be having more of the topics in our next coming up sessions. And one preview for our next session is we are planning on a little 3D game building session with Trey and Unity. So if you guys are interested, definitely stay tuned. And if you have any other topics you're interested, let us know. Okay, dokes. Thanks everyone for joining, and have a great day and have a great week going forward. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.